It's up for 2 awards at this year's Oscars: Best Actress for Annette Bening and Best Supporting Actress for Jodie Foster. And that makes perfect sense that these would be the 2 awards up for this movie. But it also makes sense that those respective awards were won by those women at the AARP Movies for Grown-Ups Awards, because this is going to be one of your mom's favorite films of the year by a mile. Let's talk about Nyad. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new film Nyad. This is available streaming now on Netflix. It is an original Netflix film, and it is about the life of swimmer Diana Nyad, and more about her later life and her attempt to swim from Cuba to Florida after many, many attempts throughout her life, and Annette Bening plays Nyad. So we're going to talk here all about this movie in just a moment. First, though, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do movie and TV reviews here on the channel, and I try to post something new every day, so there's always a lot to check out here on the channel. So please consider subscribing, hit that like button, comment down below. All that stuff does help the channel out. And also check out my links down below in the description, because I have a Letterboxd now, which, if you don't know, tracks movies that you've watched and it lets you rate them and all of that stuff. So sometimes my Letterboxd will have my movie rating even before I make the video. So you can check out those links down there. There's a Facebook, there's an X as well. So all right, let's talk about Nyad, shall we? So like I said, Annette Bening plays Diana Nyad. And this is really about two best friends, really. It is her story, certainly, but it's also about her lifelong best friend, played by Jodie Foster, and that is Bonnie. And she decides to make Bonnie her coach, as she is trying to sort of break this record that she tried to do decades earlier and sort of gave up on. And this is sort of her, story of redemption and, okay, can I do this in my 60s? And the reason I said that it makes sense that the two things this movie would be nominated for at the Oscars are these two performances, because without them or with, maybe weaker actresses in the role, this just is not as compelling as a movie as it is with these two. I mean, they're obviously pros. Jodie Foster is an Oscar winner herself. Is she a multiple winner? Did she win for The Accused and Silence of the Lambs? I think maybe she did. But if not, she was at least nominated for The Accused as well. And Annette Bening has been nominated. Now, this is her 5th time. And unfortunately, I don't think either of these ladies are going to win. Supporting actress, I think, is a shoo-in for Devine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. And Best Actress, I think there's a couple of people in the mix there, but I don't think Annette Bening is one of them. I will say, I think Bening got snubbed a few years ago for a movie called 20th Century Women. Check that one out. She's great in it. But look, these two gals are great in everything. I mean, they pick the right projects, and this movie ends up being much more about, their relationship and their friendship as it is about the swimming. And with that in mind, I will say that I was sort of reading up a little bit on Nyad herself, and she likes to go by just her last name, so I'm going to refer to her in that way. But I was reading up sort of on Nyad and the truth of this movie and all of this, and there turns out to be, some asterisks with her achievements. She maybe has been questioned about some of the things she's done, and her Guinness record was apparently stripped from her and all of this. But here's the thing. What's kind of interesting to me about that is it really doesn't matter, because I mean, and whether that's true or false, it's just kind of irrelevant for this film, because it is a more dramatization, not necessarily a documentary, so it doesn't go into those parts. But this is a feel-good movie. This is a positive movie, and more important, I think, than, okay, does she do this swim? Does she make it? Much more important than that to me is the willingness to keep going for it. I think this is a movie about how it's never too late to try for something that you really want. They have told her, many times, this is humanly not possible. It can't be done, et cetera, et cetera. And she says, you know what? I'm going to do it, and we see, how she trains for this. We see a lot of that, but it's also about the two of them being friends. And are they more than friends? They maybe sort of dabble in that a little bit here, but again, not really the point of the movie, so not something that they focus on. This is an inspirational movie for sure, and I think that is the takeaway from this. Not whether Nyad really achieved all of this stuff. It almost makes no difference, which I thought was kind of interesting because you would think that would be kind of the main focal point of the movie, but it turns out to not be. And this was directed by first-time directors. I think there's two of them. Yes, Elizabeth Shai. Oh, there's three of them. Or no, Elizabeth Shai, Varsahili, and Jimmy Chen. Those are the two people. And I think both of them are feature directorial debuts here. And they do a pretty good job, with the swimming scenes. My biggest issues, though, with the film do have to do a little bit with the directing and the handling of Nyad's past, because we do see some, flashbacks to her, swimming career as a teenager, and her father being very strict, and this and that and the other thing. I'm not sure that they really connected. They were very, very basic scenes, and maybe because you have some 14-year-old girl who obviously is not going to, evoke the same emotional responses that Annette Bening does, as a seasoned actor. Anna Harriet Pittman plays the teenage Nyad. So, those scenes didn't really do it for me. And then another choice I thought was very odd here was that they interspersed, certainly at the beginning of the movie, but a little bit throughout the movie, because Nyad would go on these TV shows and talk to people about her pursuits and all of this. But some of those clips, like from The Tonight Show in the very first scene, are clips of the real Nyad. And that's fine sort of as a bookend, I guess. But a few times during the movie, we sort of go to those, but it's not Annette Bening portraying her. And look, we have the technology. We've seen this in dozens and dozens of movies and shows at this point, where, you take an old Carson or Letterman clip or something, and you have, the actor now, sort of doing the back and forth and doing the part of who they were talking to, but we see Carson or Letterman as they were then. Why they didn't do that here, I'm not quite sure, because to me it came off very clumsy, and it certainly does, knock down a peg on my grade. So, but other than that, look, this was a very inspirational movie, and I can see why these two women were nominated in their respective categories. I think there were some acting snubs this year that I'll get into in a different video when I do my snubs and who, Oscar guesses and predictions and stuff with my buddy Tim. We'll do that in a few weeks. Annette Bening, does she deserve to be in the mix? I think so. Jodie Foster, I'm a little less sure about, but seeing the two of these pros on screen, you absolutely believe that they've been lifelong friends, and that's what this movie is about at its core. Whether or not the records that Nyad, held at one point or holds now, still stand, or whether they really happen at all, is really kind of beside the point. I leave Nyad with a B. You can see this streaming now on Netflix, and definitely check it off your Oscar card. Some powerhouse performances. All right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It. I'll see you next time. Bye.